remember this, but running around playgrounds as boys, we used to do this thing where we go...
You've got to know not to do things for too long. That was so annoying.
But that was the full Tarzan way.
If I'd just clicked on this and I'd never seen this before, I would have clicked off.
Yeah, true. Okay.
I'd have thought that man's so loud and annoying.
Sorry. Fair dues.
I love him though. Morning, everybody. Oh look! Oh God, look! We're in oranges again. We do so often.
Yeah. Why is God crying?
Oh, I don't know. Everyone's driving me mad today. Well, not the bloody. We've got these
Hi,
weird.
Margaret O'Brien. Hi, Danielle. How good ship lollipop. Hi, Nora Doyle. Hi, Faith Good. It's really weird. Chi-Chi's doing this thing where her normal breathing is like a 60-year-old man who just sighs whenever he sits down. Have you noticed that?
It's those steroids, isn't it? They're doing everything to her, those steroids. I hate taking
I've noticed you sigh every time you sit down. It's a moment, isn't it, in life?
It's actually in homeopathy, it's a symptom, somebody that sighs. Some people do sigh all the time. And guess what? Sighing is actually really good for you because it's a release of pressure. When you think about it, when you think about really, when you boil down everything like anxiety, everything comes down to deep breathing. We all breathe up here, and that's why we have so much anxiety. And deep breath, when you do it, really is very powerful. And I suppose sighing is like, everyone have a really big sigh together now. Breathe in. Do you feel a relief?
Yeah.
It is a reliever.
I do. It's funny because I was writing something yesterday, and I was actually writing it. I was actually writing it. Lee Pears in a lot of. I thought, sorry, the flies round up. I was writing it for Lee, and it was a whole passage about breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, alternate nostril breathing.
Yeah, I do that.
And and this breathing. Has anyone done this? Nose tip elevation. Have you done this one? This is breath of fire, which is fucking
amazing.
Annoying.
Don't say that. That's my yoga breath.
Try the nose tip elevation.
Yeah, Dina does that all the time to get extra. When you're really tired, do it now. Do it now. You get more oxygen in. I
sometimes do that when I'm running. I suddenly go.
Louisa Hackett.
Could you like that?
Louisa Hackett, happy birthday, and yes, we will sing you a happy birthday.
Get a pen and paper. Jot it in your phone. We'll forget the other one. Oh, hang on. I've got it.
Breath of fire is tough, but always feels good. Why Mark goes, it's so annoying, breath of fire, is because he's never persisted with it. But once
explain it again.
Once you can do it, oh my God, it's so empowering. And it totally energises you.
Louisa Hackett, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it's a little bit like having to do that. Because you breathe it. Just show me when you, in slow motion, what does your stomach do when you breathe in slow motion? No, in slow, show us what. Oh, it comes in as you inhale. Hang on, I do it in slow motion.
So it goes out when I breathe in.
No, yeah, because it's coming in. Oh, so it's normal breathing.
Exactly.
You know why I've always found it difficult? I thought as you breathed in, you're supposed to bring your stomach in, and as you breathe out,
no,
push your stomach out.
It's very good. Blurry, does that matter?
Fucking hell. 4G for a bit. Guess what? We're changing broadband provider.
It's going to be so much better in a week.
Well, if their promise delivers, but their promise is that we'll be 25,000 times faster than we were.
Shelley, do you have to let Michelle know when you've been a member?
For a card, yeah,
yes,
2 years.
Do,
There's a link actually down below in the description of every single upload, and Michelle will double check that you have been with us for 2 years. Me and Michelle are talking about something for 4 years. Something very sweet, very simple. Edward Bevington, 8,000, Nadia. What's that? 8K. What's 8K?
Don't know.
Don't know what that means. It's not that blurry. Not anymore, May Edmondson, because I've gone back to 4G, 5G.
Don't forget, guys, join our Instagram. It's only been up a couple of days. Coffee Moaning Instagram. There will be there's going to be lots of stuff going on there.
Lots of interactive stuff.
Yeah.
Polls, questions, silliness.
Little mini quizzes. We know you love your quizzes, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get on because we've got a busy day today. We are filming this afternoon with Lee.
Lily.
We are doing a Eurovision extravaganza. Loads of canopies, different canopies, lots of gorgeous cocktails.
Is he going to do me a nice mocktail? I want a mocktail.
Yeah, he's doing you a gorgeous mocktail, hot and fiery, lots of ginger.
Bit like Lee.
Bit like Lee. And Dina and I are doing quite a few different dishes from around Europe.
Wow.
And we're focusing on 1974, the year ABBA won.
And I think, you know what we should do? I think we should run a poll on various parts of the... You need a Curly Cooks Instagram, don't you? I can see it coming. We need to run a poll somewhere where you vote for your favourite Eurovision dish that they do. Nil point, or deux points, or cinq points, or sept points. You get the idea. Fucking hell.
So that will be going out on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. We're doing a pre-record, so that's going out Saturday
Angela
morning,
Thompson, don't do Instagram. Are you stopping YouTube? No. This is as well as.
As well as. And yeah, so if you're looking for things to make, if you're having a bit of a Eurovision party, there'll be lots of nice, really easy recipes that you can check out on Saturday morning and then do. Okay, so let's get on, because as I say, we've got lots. So first of all, I found this article today that I just love this. The partner every woman should have, a Doesband.
It's a great name, isn't it?
Sick child in need of Calpol, bins to take out. My Doesband and I are totally equal when it comes to domestic chores. Why is this still so rare? And it's a good article.
I was out yesterday. Were you feeling the frustration of having clean cupboards and stuff like that?
No, I don't. I actually don't.
Doesband, Doesband, B-A-N-D. Sorry, someone's just asking what it was.
Yeah, so a Doesband is the husband who does everything without being asked, who knows about all the funny little things that we often women, not always, I don't want to be sexist about this, will do that men have no idea that it's a job. So I thought first, if you tell me, and it can be, it could be the other way around, your partner, let's say, rather than just your man, what are the jobs that you do that your partner has no idea exist? Because they always make me laugh, what comes up.
Faith Goodman says her husband Tony is a brilliantly kind Doesband.
Wow. Tony is a Doesband.
Tony!
Hey, Tony.
We love you, Tony.
So it means like in this article, she talks about things like he knows where the Calpol is.
Yeah.
He knows to get the gicky bit from behind the kid's ears.
The gicky bit?
Yeah, that men don't know about that. A lot of men don't know about that.
All right.
He would know about the kid's friend's birthday. He knows where the ballet kit is. He would clean round the edge of the toilet. I mean, I was giving the toilet proper old clean yesterday, and I was laughing again, thinking nobody in this house knows this job exists. I get the toothbrush around the head.
Yeah, and on that note,
it's not your toothbrush.
It's
one I keep in there.
Placing the toothbrush and your cleaning utensils in the bathroom downstairs on my stuff is not part of the deal.
We've seen Christos in action. He is 100% Doesband. He is.
Christos, mate, you always fucking throw shade at me. What was I going to say?
So I want to know, what are the jobs that your partner has no idea exists?
Okay, right. Well, I know the job. Can I just say, whilst people are answering, I know that. Here you go. By the way, over 2/3 of you sigh when you sit down. That's good to know.
Oh, hang on. Can I just go back to that? Because that's a really good one. Where is it? Because I was thinking that yesterday. So the fluff in the dryer, right, is
that is a bastard.
What they don't know, what nobody in this house knows, is that whoever does that job is saving their lives, because that's how dryers catch fire. So very occasionally when they've tried 3 times and it's not drying, they'll pull the thing out and might empty it. But do they ever pull the other filter out? Did you know there's another filter at the bottom?
I know that there's one. Hang on. This makes me laugh, because I will put my hand up. Fair cop. Because here's my thing. I think the fluff in the dryer is the equivalent of every household's belly button.
Right.
It's where the fluff gathers.
So there's the filter that you pull out. There's all the stuff that you have to get around it. There's the filter that you have to pull out from the bottom, and it is a fucker to clean, because there's no system where you can pull it out. So you have to run it under that tap, get it all out. I've been in here doing it. It's never gone, oh God, what's that? But also all that other fluff round. That's a very good one. I would have forgotten about that, and that would have pissed me off. Who was it?
Going back to Wi-Fi.
Hey, this will change.
Yeah, we're on it like a car bonnet.
The other thing, absolutely, yes, Ellen, the filter in the washing machine.
Washing machine filter?
Washing machine filter and have you ever taken the drawer out of the washing machine?
By accident.
What did you do with it?
Out.
When it was in your hand, did you think, oh, I'll go and wash this?
No, in fact, more happened than that. One of the silver sort of flat doors came off and I placed it on the shelf upstairs.
Yes, no, I know, I saw that.
Yeah. And I've been putting the wrong conditioner or something.
Over and over again into the wrong thing, like not just once, over and over and over again.
Okay, well, I always take the rubbish out. I'm in charge of recycling. I mean, that's
and you
fucking
drive.
thankless.
And you drive everywhere.
And I like, when left to do it in my own way, I actually find washing up more therapeutic than...
Well, we're not talking about what ones you like and help you and the therapeutic. That's irrelevant.
And I'll tell you what I discovered...
We're talking about the fucking jobs nobody wants to do and don't know exist. Oh, I like to wash up occasionally because it's therapeutic.
I've listened to you. Every single empty toilet roll I now put in the bin.
Are you kidding me? I've been leaving them to build up upstairs. 4.
I don't use the upstairs bathroom.
Oh, my.
I don't.
That's not true.
Oh, my God. If you want to know what a sink solely used by women looks like.
Have you ever washed? Did you know that the bath mat needs to be washed?
I haven't thought that.
Did you know that when you step on the bath mat, because he never shakes his foot first, he just steps directly onto it, it's just sodden.
Oh no!
That when you leave it on the floor, it stinks. Then I have to wash it again because you have to hang it up.
You know why I like doing that? Because as a kid, I never had a bath mat, and I love seeing the shape, the silhouette of my feet, wet feet.
Great.
I love it. I love seeing it. Does anyone
and then
else
you leave
like
it on the floor, and then sometimes because you want to go over when you're using the toilet upstairs and open the window, you step on the white bath mat with your dirty boot, and we have a lovely boot stain there.
When the girls were younger, I would often try and put their hair in pigtails or ponytails. They didn't like it, but I thought it was quite Doesbandy.
Right. So we're tracking back 20 years.
I always take the girls to dentists and all that boring stuff. I do the dogs and the vets. I always do the dogs and the vets.
You do?
I do all of the
veterinary.
veterinary.
You do the car stuff?
Do all the veterinary stuff.
And
do all the garden stuff.
But I think this is more about the jobs that nobody knows exist.
Okay, well, let's have a look at some of the other ones that she says.
Like, in 20 years, have you ever hoovered the stairs?
No. But on that note, I do want to say something, actually, and this is really important breaking news. I hoovered the entire downstairs the other week. I can't remember why, and I loved it.
Because it's the first time you've done it in your adult life. Have you ever washed this floor? This floor is exhausting to wash.
That looks fucking tedious.
Have you ever washed the bedroom sheets?
That looks...
Have you?
No.
So this is all Doesbands stuff.
But I am more than happy to, on my own, put the duvet cover on a duvet.
Well, he's so good. What about cleaning the oven? Somebody's there saying it's the thing they hate.
Oh, I'll do the whole kitchen, but not the oven.
So we picked up here that what he does is what he finds therapeutic. And it's so fucking annoying, isn't it? Because he'll do it once or twice and find it therapeutic. It's when you do it over and over and over again for 20 years, isn't it?
Well, there you go. That's a Doesband. I'd like a Doesband. Well, no, you are a Doesband. You're very good. You're very good. You're very good at all of that. You're very good.
I did, Julie Evans. I cleaned.
I
actually cleaned the cupboard yesterday for you guys because it was pissing you off so much.
I do want to say something. I do want to say something because I really wish that I could make myself cook so that didn't fall upon you. I mean, I know you can't drive, but I would really like, because I do, when I have done it infrequently, using all the right words so you don't think I'm pretending I'm something I'm not, I've really enjoyed it, and I can see why you like it. And it really, I find very few things where I'm literally not thinking about a million and one other things. Even watching something, I'm thinking about reviews or filmmaking and it. But to cook would just take me out of my head. I'm wondering whether that's where my therapy could lie.
Well, I keep saying that to you. You should cook sometimes. I think you're a good cook. Mark trying to redeem himself, so he's laughing her fucking head off.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you guys, I just threw that away, but this is the absolute God's honest truth. I cleared that up yesterday for you because it drives you mad. So that is now tidy. That is the subs area.
Housework is good exercise. Nadia, I was working in London yesterday, and I did something like 5,000 steps, and you did how many in the house?
13,000 just in the house.
13,000. Oh, guys, you know what it deserves? Sigh.
Andrea says, thank you for clearing up, Nadia.
Yeah, thank you. Does Mark clean the toilet? Lee, can you stop
he does
throwing
not,
a magnifying
ever.
glass over these things? I tell you what I have done. I've spent today,
He's
though,
gonna say-
chasing a fly. I've done that. Chasing a fly and filming a dish for the Sunday show. Okay. Victoria Beckham and Dave Beckham. Can't say...
This is almost like, this is weird because this is a Doesband that actually is on
Scores
that
goals.
extreme level.
Scores goals.
That extreme level where, you know, the horrendous condition of OCD, which we were talking about earlier. Mark touched on this on Saturday in the papers, the Saturday papers. I remember years ago when you could talk about OCD and it was a joke. And everyone would go, I remember once saying on Loose Women, years ago, oh, I'm looking for a new OCD friend because my OCD friend's gone to Australia who used to clear up my house for me. And because we had no understanding of it. I had no understanding of actually what it was and just how awful it is to live with. And Mark touched on it from David Beckham's POV.
This is a new, just so you know, there's a new series coming to Netflix about it and him. I don't know.
Yeah. And he really, really suffers with it. Really suffers. Like, everyone's gone to bed, then he's going round, got to turn all the switches, one switch to the right, has to clean the candles, has to do all of this stuff. But I was thinking of it more because I'm definitely going to watch the show. I'll be fascinated by it.
Sorry, I just have to laugh. I know exactly what Chi-Chi's been doing. Chi-Chi has learnt from Toffee's crib book. Toffee has a notebook on how to tease Chi-Chi and get Chi-Chi's bones or esophaguses when Toffee doesn't have one. What Toffee does is she goes to the back door, barks, pretend there's something in the garden, it triggers Chi-Chi, Chi-Chi runs into the garden, Toffee swoops in, grabs what she's got. Chi-Chi has learnt this. She just did it, ran out, ran back to see if the esophagus was there. But Toffee's wise. It's Game of Thrones in here. With the dog, sorry.
But apparently Victoria has said
What
that it's been just hell at times to live with. And I thought, oh God, yeah, we know a lot more now about OCD from the perspective of the person with OCD. But again, what is that like to live with somebody who has serious OCD?
Let's ask her.
My lovely friend Linda Robson, who's spoken about, her OCD when she was really unwell, and we witnessed it. Me and the girls when we were on Loose Woman holiday, and I just was with her over, and I had no idea how awful it was for her, just over and over again repeating the same behaviour, because it's like the most extreme anxiety, isn't it?
Well, this is really interesting because I was going to say, the kind of stereotype and the stereotype of OCD is the meticulous tidying, isn't it? And sort of order. And of course,
but it goes way beyond that.
Well, this, I think I have this. Someone just said I have, OCD? Petunia Smithhurst. I have obsessive thought disorder.
That's smart.
And it can be horrendous. And I have that, where it's like if your mind is just like a sort of, a huge like Nanny Di's flat, just full of books and da-da-da-da. I'm just obsessively trying to make order of it.
But your mum, I think, has it too. Like sometimes, hi Di, if you're there, like when your mum's driving you mad because she keeps asking something.
Yes.
That's what
Obsessive
you do in a different
disorder.
way.
Yes.
And it's like, if you're in it, you feel that that's normal, but it's not normal. Other people don't do that, and it's awful for the person. And Mark's always done this, our whole marriage has always done it. And I know it's not his fault and he can't stop it, but God, sometimes for me, I'm just like, fucking hell, it's exhausting.
Yeah, look, a couple of it. Lee Darrant, I have terrible OCD. I have to check everything 8 times. I check both front and back doors. That's what my granddad used to do an awful lot. I also have to iron everything twice. It's terrible. Christos, in some cases, I believe on borderline OCD. Chemo intensified. Who's that? Nora Doyle. Chemo intensified my dad's. It was really hard for my mum to negotiate around it. But
I suppose because it's anxiety driven, isn't it? So if you're going through something big like cancer or something, I would imagine that it becomes even. But it's an awful thing to have.
One of the things I was talking to a therapist the other day. It's funny, isn't it? Whenever you sort of hear the phrase, "Oh, it's about control issues," that always comes across as a really sort of negative thing of I want to control.
Control comes from fear.
Well, yeah, and also control is about security. It's about sort of having some kind of control. And also, I was in an AA meeting recently, and again, it was all about an inability to control the outcome of things and what have you, and you know, I'm constant. You know, I was reminded in recent weeks of the step one thing of powerlessness and how there's liberation in that. But of course, if you've got the mental condition of OCD, it's a mental. There's no free will. There's no choice. Lots of alcoholics and addicts struggle with this. They struggle with this, and in a weird way, I guess again, the drinking or the drugging takes the edge off it.
It's Laura Lou just said that, you know, a lot of ADHD presents like OCD. There's a lot of similarities. So we know, I mean, you've been told by the psychiatrist you're off the scale ADHD.
Yes.
So what does it matter if it's ADHD or it's OCD or whatever it is? It's fucking horrible for you. And sometimes it's really fucking difficult for me. And you know, I think that's what we're going to see with Victoria and David. And I always think it's fun. I am not one of these people who goes, oh God, you know, oh, these celebrities, why are they telling us all their problems? And I think it's really mean when people say that, because actually if you are known and you talk about something like that, actually it's a really huge thing, because they will get a lot of knocks for that as well. But them talking about it does so much for awareness. It just like rocket fuels, you know. I mean, they're global stars.
I was just reading something as you said that. Were you just suggesting that for her to say how difficult it is could run the risk of people saying, "Oh, you're being sort of insensitive"?
You know, because oh, with all your money or with all your like, it's like you know, there's always a reason that people can knock somebody for being really honest if they appear to have the perfect life. Nobody's got a fucking perfect life. Nobody.
So let's have a look.
And the more I think people look like they have, the less likely they have.
Okay, slim majority of you don't struggle with OCD. 44% of you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
44%.
It's quite a lot.
That's a lot.
Isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, look at that. So
May Edmondson.
ADHD makes me repeat everything multiple times because I make careless mistakes. So I guess you could say that's light OCD. Yeah. Yeah, the repeating the process.
I think I've used this analogy a lot, but when I was younger and I used to play kind of video games, I would always have to, if I lost one life, I'd have to go back, I'd have to reset. I had to do it with 3 lives. I had to sort of...
It's interesting because when you have your test to see whether you have ADHD, they will ask things like, are you on time?
I'm always
on time. But the important thing is, other people just say, well, I'm going to get there, and they think, and they do it. But somebody with ADHD who is on time, because a lot of people with ADHD just can't be on time, will look over and over again at the time, or get there really early to be totally sure they're on time. And they think that's normal, that's how everybody does it, but that's not how everybody does it.
I've always been like that. With every single meeting, business, personal, whatever, I have always got there 15 to 20 minutes earlier, because I like to sit, I like to think about the meeting beforehand, I like to take stock.
No, but if I can just interject, you will think about it over and over in the morning about what time to get there in a way that somebody that doesn't have ADHD wouldn't. Right. And the same.
But can I also suggest that some of those people without ADHD who don't think about it are often late?
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about in the OCD.
No, I get
sort
it.
of just the compulsive thinking where you just, it's very tiring. Very tiring to overthink.
Yeah, but you see, I like to be...
Sometimes I go to Mark, oh my God, you're thinking, aren't you? And he goes, yeah, I go, stop it. It never does you any good. Get up, do something
I hate the way in which you always want to go theatre, film, whatever the event, you want to go right on the bell. I don't understand why you want to be stressed like that. I like to be sat down at least 5 to 10 minutes
before.
But
I'm never late.
You never want to get up and let people in. It's so tedious.
I'm never late. Every single person at Loose Women says they can't believe I'm not late because of every other way that I am.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that, but there is you don't like being told the start time of anything. You literally, even on the lives, right to the wire, she's usually fiddling with her knickers, her gusset, always.
Right, let's move on.
Okay, age gap relationships. This is a story that that's gone viral. This is a couple that have gone viral after sharing uncomfortable age gap romance. Someone said of their relationship, this is some Leo DiCaprio stuff. We've covered this before. But this is a woman who fell for a man almost twice her age, 22 years her senior. So 24-year-old going out with a 46-year-old. And they've been kind of, for some reason they've gone viral. I mean, there's a photograph of them, and I wouldn't be able to necessarily tell he was that much older than her. What are your thoughts on age gaps? Is it more permissible? This is what I want to ask. Is it more permissible for an older woman to go out with a younger man than vice versa?
The thing is, it's like interesting, isn't it? It's uncomfortable. Uncomfortable for who? If it's uncomfortable for you in your age gap relationship, well then think about it. But if it's uncomfortable for anyone else, sod 'em. What difference does it make?
But people have very strong opinions on
But it's
this.
weird, isn't it? Actually, if I'm really honest.
The girls talk about
If
it
it's
a
a
lot.
woman with a younger man,
Yeah.
I don't judge
I don't
it.
think anything.
But I do judge it if it's a man with a much younger woman. I do judge it.
It's like we were watching, just to bring it into the room because I have to, because I'm a crack addict. Vanderpump Rules, is it? Vanderpump Rules. And one of the young women in it was talking about, they asked the question at one point, what's the oldest you would go for in a man? And she said, quite specifically, she said 47. I thought, that's very, very specific, isn't it? What happens at 46 to 47? There is this thing, isn't there, I suppose, for some people, is it about not seeing age, or is it that women are drawn to the maturity of the older man? You know, because does that necessarily run true, that older men are more mature? Not necessarily.
I just think in a way, I hate these conversations because every single situation is unique, isn't it? I mean, you know, you will meet people who are just so old for their years. You know, there are a lot of people that just never really liked people of their age.
Yeah, no,
you know, they always wanted to be with older people, and there are some people that are older that have such a young spirit that it would be weird, especially if they're like somebody who's like.
Oh, well, we've got a friend.
I'm thinking of our friend, you know, who's in her 70s. If she were to be going out with a man in their 70s that didn't match her live wired energy, that would be more uncomfortable for me, actually.
I agree. I remember when we worked with Vanessa Redgrave, I fell in love with her straight away, and Lauren Bacall. I mean, and they were much older than me back then. I mean, how old was I? I was about 35,
okay,
40.
So when you
and
fell,
they were 60 something.
What was it that you fell for?
Just beauty.
No, but it wasn't just beauty.
No, it wasn't just beauty, but also an absolute. What they weren't was at all judgmental of younger people. I think there's something very attractive in older people who are really not drawn to younger people in terms of a salacious way, but are drawn to the energy, the vibe, the enthusiasm, the zest for life, the zeal of being young. And that kind of is within them too. I always remember Richard E. Grant saying years ago, he said, you know, one of the keys to, he wasn't that old then, but he said one of the keys to his life is staying in touch and befriending many, many young people.
Well, I feel the same way. I've got young friends, you know, at work. I really connect with the young people as well because I just want to stay plugged in to the world. Somebody there, I think it was Minky Moo, said her husband is 16 years, was it Minky Moo, older than her. She just could never relate to people of her own age. Yeah,
Minky Moo.
My own age. And yet there will have been some people through your relationship that have gone, 16, what the fuck? It's got to do with anything.
I mean, even in our 6/7 year difference between us, whatever it is, you often say, well, you're that bit younger, so you haven't got to that either jaded moment or ability to see through something or not be bothered by certain things because you're that bit older. But don't we all do this simple arithmetic, which I know the girls do, young people do it a lot. They go, okay, so I don't know, say this guy's, how old is he? He's 46 and she's 24. They sort of say, that means that when he was 22, she wasn't even born. That's weird. It is weird, isn't it? Don't you think? Which means when she was 10, he was 32. We do those strange equations.
That. Like, what's the age gap between us?
6 years.
So when I was 16, you were 10. But
when you were 14, I was 8.
At 16, I wouldn't have looked at you twice because you were 10. But that age gap closes up as you get older, and some people just mature so much quick. I mean, I really was. In some ways, though I was like chaotic and mad, I was also very mature. I just matured on some things really quickly. And you know, as a general rule, men do mature later than women.
Well, I would argue that we don't mature at all. Yeah. I'm asking a killer question, guys.
Mark! Why have you said such a terrible thing?
We're talking about age gaps and things like that. Okay, let's jump. You can answer that whilst we're cracking.
Is this because of my 7 year age gap? He's actually put on the poll. Who do you think's going to die first, Nadia or Mark?
Oh, it's not looking good for me.
I can't answer that, Sedley.
It's not looking good for me.
You've upset the children.
Okay. Okay, Tom Holland. This is not
That's
a lot
a
to say about
terrible
this.
question. Mark, this is classic. You compulsive behaviour. What a question. What a poll.
I'm going to put it on the Coffee Moaning
72%
Instagram account. I know.
Okay.
I am feeling suddenly I've got massive hypochondria issues.
Okay, right. So now, anyone who did vote, I want you to say, just in a few words, why you have put that person.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can't vote.
Not answering a frog.
You've upset the kids, honestly.
It's not looking good for me, guys.
Okay, so people that are saying I'm not answering that, why? Is that because you feel...
Fiona says because Nadia's going to kill you.
Is that because you feel that you'll be tempting fate?
TK wants
and you
it,
don't know who you want to
die
die first?
Said Mark because he made
Nadia will
bloody
kill him.
Okay, just quickly, Tom Holland, who obviously is Spider-Man, wonderful young actor, incredibly... He's a local boy, he went to the Brit School and all that
I'm
kind of
worried
stuff.
that Mark will have a terrible loft accident.
Oh, bloody hell. Superstitious. Not answering because I might upset Mark, says Kathy Hyde.
These are funny. Nadia will die first, says MT.
Zoe, if I had to guess, probably Mark.
Ellie, it's like asking to choose who's our favourite. What you'd knock off first.
Yeah, well, beg your pardon, that's something completely different.
I don't want to trigger Mark's hypochondria. She obviously thinks it's you.
Impaled on the loft ladder. Too funny.
So most of you that think Mark is going to die just because men die younger, says Anne.
Yeah, but I'm younger. Christmas
Do you think you're going to die because men die
The Christmas
younger?
jumper will get you, says Melissa Wallington. Oh,
That's
yeah.
so
Kaylee
funny.
Banner, when's the next Green Figured Hell? What, get it out quick, shall we? It went out last night, by the way, if you're genuinely asking. Just quickly, Tom Holland has declared that he's been sober for a year and a half. He came off, it was much publicised that he came off social media recently due to mental health issues. He's starring in a new, I think, series that's just been, or film on Apple TV. The trailer landed yesterday.
Can I just pause you?
Yeah.
Faith has just said Mark's going to die during a Joe Wicks.
I think you're very, very true.
I'm loving these comments. So annoying because they'll go, won't they? You don't see them after the live.
Yeah, no, they do. They stay. So I just think this is really good because I think when young people with his profile show that you can stop drinking,
brilliant.
I think it's really important just to publicise that. So I just wanted to mention this and sort of say, yes, good on you. Good
But
on
also
you, Tom.
there's so many young people doing this. You know, like we mentioned last week, didn't we? Justin Bieber, Bella Hadid, and they're all coming out saying we have decided to be sober because of our anxiety. Yeah, no, it's just great. Pink Lady, sober since I was 27. Yeah, and, you know, he's got it all. You know, he's got it all. He's got a movie star. He's got an amazing girlfriend that most girls want to be and most boys want to date. Zendaya. You know, he has, you know, so for him to come out and say...
Well done, Lee.
I was struggling for him to become sober. That means he would have really been struggling.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we know?
Especially as he also came off social media. Obviously, there's a lot going on for him behind the scenes there. And I just think it's so important. You know, this idea of role models, I think it's, you know, these phrases have become a little bit kind of, you know, tired. But I do think it's really good. I think brilliant. Good on him. Publicised, all that kind of stuff.
Don't forget, alcohol increases anxiety. There is no two ways about it. It does. First two will soothe them, and then after that, it's all downhill. I went out, I had drinks last Friday afternoon, and I felt like shit for 2 days.
You didn't look too good either.
I know.
It's a joke. You always look lovely.
Because I don't drink much these days. I really notice it when I do.
Right, if you go to the Coffee Moaning Instagram account, you'll see that there's a little poll or something anyway on the stories. Imperial leather. I love
And we're going
this.
to put some clips of what you guys said to us. We're gonna put some clips.
Imperial leather. People are only just realising why Imperial leather soap bars have a label stuck on them, and it's incredibly useful.
I've always thought that it was just a really good marketing thing because however small that piece of soap got, the label would always be there.
Do you know why I think it is?
And what did they do to make it stick so?
That is remarkable. Because what ends up happening, I remember my mum used to have, there's the one, in the bath, we always had Imperial leather. And in the end, it was always a small
label. It was just
label.
the label.
And so you'd be like doing this with it. But I know exactly why they got the label.
Cool.
So women can masturbate in the shower. It's the little bit. This is what they always used to say. It's the
What
little
are you
hard...
talking about? What are you talking about?
Because-
Shush!
Think of it.
I don't want to think of it. Well, some of us haven't even had our breakfast yet. What the fuck? Okay, can we just give the real reason from the article, please? No.
But that's what everyone... Did you not say that as a kid?
Nobody's ever said that ever.
We said it all the time.
Well...
In fact, it was an ex-girlfriend of mine who told me. It was an
Maybe that's the age
Maybe
gap.
that was my ex-girlfriend. Okay,
Maybe she needed to rethink.
Well, the real... It says something about me, doesn't it? That she was turning to Imperial leather label. Okay, well, do you want to share why it is?
I'm so desperate about using an Imperial leather
All right,
label.
don't knock her, don't shame her.
Well, we don't know who she is. None of us do.
That's true, that's true. I didn't really know that well. Tell us why. Do you know why? Are you going to tell us? Hello, what's happened?
I'm just trying to remember.
It's so that when you place it
on the
side of the bath,
it doesn't slip off.
It's like a what do you call it? A stop. It's like a, what is it?
Slip mat.
Slip mat, that's what it is. That's what my girlfriend used to call it, slip mat.
I feel sick. Okay, we love you. We have to leave you because, as I say, we are off filming this afternoon.
Yeah,
Do not miss the
happy
Curly
birthdays.
Cooks this Saturday. Let's do the birthdays. Remember to go and follow Coffee Moaning, simply at Coffee Moaning on Instagram. Doesn't mean we're not going to be on here. Of course we are, but we're going to put some of the best bits over there.
The Pups Don't Lie says, sadly Mark died slipping on Imperial leather in the bath. It's going to happen, it's going to happen. Okay, happy birthday to Louise. Is it Louisa
Hackett.
or Louise Hackett?
It's Louise Hackett. Hi, Louise. Louise has been with us for years.
No, I can never remember if it's Louisa or Louise.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Louisa.
Hackett. You just said Louisa. It's Louise.
Because I think it is Louisa now. You've made me think.
Oh, Louise.
Louise. Is it You've made me think. I thought it was Louise, but now you've made me worry.
Night Kiwi Kathy. Is it Louisa? It is Louisa, isn't it? I think it's Louisa.
Louisa, tell us and we'll start again. Let's sing for Sandy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sandy. Happy birthday to you.
This is the executioner. Listen.
No, don't.
Tennis racket, absolutely. And happy birthday tomorrow for Sean Thomas, who's not on the Friday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sean Thomas. Happy birthday to you.
And Louisa.
What
happy
Day
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Louise.
Oh, Louisa. Louise, it is Louise.
Happy birthday to you.
Anyway, guys, have a lovely day.
And don't forget to